everyone, and welcome to the Mystery Cast. Ooh,
Spoopy.
it's misty.
And all our viewers left.
So, this is the Mystery Cast for Weirdmageddon Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
That's the subtitle for this episode.
Of course.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, it's actually Escape from Reality. That is the actual...
so this is
Oh, there goes gravity.
I am our lovely host, TG. Joining me, as always, is Greg Dog. Oh, God.
Apparently, we're also getting joined by TG's phone. Very professional.
Okay, phone is gone. But yes. We're also joined by Greg Dog.
The phone is also joined by Greg Dog.
Everyone is joined by Greg Dog, for Greg Dog is in all of you.
Ew. That's...
Greg.
You just don't know it yet.
Well, that's disturbing.
Yeah, it is. Okay, moving on.
Yeah,
Where did he go?
Okay, also joining us is Treebeard. That intro went on for so long, I forgot I was supposed to be introducing people.
The Court of Radical recognizes Mr. Stephen Colbert to the stand.
Also, Scott.
Hi.
Still just Scott.
Just hi.
Yes.
For his...
I mean, if you're not going to give me a fancy intro, I'm just going to give a regular greeting. So I'm just Scott, so I'm just going to say hi. Hi.
Yeah. Hi. Also, that's everyone, because Duster is sadly not joining us today.
She has come down with a case of dead.
Oh,
No, she hasn't. She's come down with a case of tired.
I thought you came down with a bad case of humans.
No, that's what we have. And we've got it bad.
Got it bad.
Got it bad for humans.
We got the
Got-
humans.
Nobody
Well, that's a
understands
story
that.
for another time. That's a story for another time. In the meantime, we're here to talk about a Groovity Flows
Let's talk
episode.
about Gravity Falls instead of whatever else we keep talking about. So this episode was pretty fucking crazy. Let's
great.
just state that, right?
I mean, it's Weirdmageddon. If it wasn't crazy, I would be disappointed.
Yeah, but it was pretty great too. So let's start with same person I always make us start with, Greg Dog.
Yeah, that's really fair considering we don't have any more rock talks for like the next 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Moving
yeah.
on.
What do you think of the episode?
Alright, well, I actually really liked this episode. To start off, I felt they really nailed the imagery going on in Mabel's mind. Like, if Mabel designed a world of her own pure imagination, this is exactly what you would expect.
With her and Silver.
Beautiful, TG. You're the next Gene Wilder. Yes. But, yeah, I know, I really love what they did with her mind. Like, they managed to throw in a ton of references without making them feel tacked on. They had a lot of... There was almost a logic to her mind. Even though it was a lot of nonsense and it's totally Mabel, again, it's totally Mabel. Everything has a point and a purpose, and it actually all kind of makes sense in a weird sort of way. And, I really liked the more serious moments of this episode, too. Despite being all really bright and happy and all that, it really had its touching and quite serious moments when they showed Dipper and Mabel and the past and, like, had the discussion about, yeah, there were some bad times, but they were always, they were always followed by good times because we're always together and all that. I thought that was really sweet, and I felt they did a really good job portraying that. And yeah, I liked the emotions. It gave me the good feels. I like the good feels.
The good fools.
Yes. What else? Jon Stewart did a nice job guest starring as the cat judge. He'll give you a 9-life sentence if you're not careful.
Awesome.
And then, on top of that, I liked how the occasional moments, there was the occasional moments where Dipper, got to see the real side of Bill's world when he actually saw through the illusion, like Wendy's fucking face turning into bugs.
Oh god.
And the tree had hanging teddy bears on it. That was some really dark shit, but I thought was fucking great. But well done indeed. Good job. Other than that, I can't think of anything right now, but I always remember along the way, so I'll move this on to whoever is next and give it a 9 out of 10. Pretty damn good. Really excited to see what comes next. Oh, just quick, I also really liked the ending where they, fucking Xyler and what's-his-face became real.
Xyler and Kraz.
And had philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, they're fucking, like, philosophy masters. It's just, again, so fucking perfect. I fucking
Righteous.
smiling cheek to cheek. Yes, most righteous.
But is it bodacious?
It is bodacious and righteous.
Can it be both? Can we have both bodacity and righteousness?
We can have bodacious.
Yes.
Bodiciousness.
Right.
But yeah, 9 out of 10. Good episode.
Let's go on to Tribeard.
Okay, so this episode, I actually ended up watching some reviews of the episode a little while after it, and they bring up some points that I feel like I should address. One of them is the fact that during the trial, honestly, other than these bad things that happen in real life, it was a really strange trial because there wasn't really much of a debate going on. I mean, it's Xyler and Kraz, so I wasn't expecting anything, you know.
I mean, it's also Mabel.
Yeah, let's remember. Yeah, Mabel's the entire.
She's the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing that was a little bit off was that it didn't actually feel like that. Other than the bad times ending well in the end, it didn't really negate the point that reality can really, really suck. But I don't know. I like the imagery. The imagery is really strong. There is a little bit of the problem that not a whole lot is advanced other than Mabel getting out of the bubble. That's again, these are sort of very abstract problems, but I feel like I need to address them to break up the overwhelmingly positive review we often have for any given Gravity Falls episode.
They did add on the new plot point that Bill is also trapped inside Gravity Falls with his buddies.
That I really like. That was actually something I really liked, that because it raises questions, and in a good way that keeps you interested and you want to learn more. It's like, okay, what kind of force is keeping fucking Bill
contained
inside Gravity Falls?
Yep.
And the thing that I thought about is the Iron Railroad that Samuel Colt made in Supernatural, which basically it's a giant like anti-demon circle in the state of Wyoming. That's what I thought of with this.
That's it.
This is a real. It was a good episode, but it was lacking in a few areas, but not enough to make it, bad. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. We'll probably discuss it a little bit more later. Hopefully.
Yeah, we will.
Alright, so, Scott, go on.
Dippy Fresh!
Oh my god, how did I forget Dippy Fresh?
I know, it's correct.
Your
Flip a
fucking
dip.
Skype icon right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
Yeah, no, Dipper's reactions to Dippy Fresh is just, they were fucking perfect.
It's a 90s Dipper. It's the best. 90s Kid Dipper. Yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I found all the jokes hilarious. There's the cat judge is great, where he's just playing with string instead of, being distracted by string like a cat does. And the jury of Mabels, where one just rolls out of the jury because she's Mabel, and why not?
It's...
Oh yeah, Seuss eating the waffle guards.
that was pretty neat.
And and the Seuss's imagination what his father would look like.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
You've
You
never
don't know
seen
what I
my-
actually look like, so I'm wearing a luchador mask.
It's
Also,
weird
that you saw on a hot sauce bottle once.
It's really weird because that like exact image of what Seuss imagines his father is like the running gag Rooster Teeth had about what Ray's dad was like. Like it's really ridiculous. I really adore that fucking Jeff.
And then it's like, I think I broke something. Bill's like, walk it off.
Oh, and Bill's also
This-
insensitive to a creature with 87 faces. It's actually 88.
88 faces.
Get it right, Bill.
Yeah,
Come on, Bill.
God.
It's
Fucking shit.
disrespectful. Check your
And then-
triangular
and then being
privilege.
trapped in gravity
Yeah.
was like, oh, what did Grunkle Ford plan for this event just in case and just like make like a railroad to surround it and stopping Bill from escaping Gravity Falls? Because Ford seems like the one who'd think that far ahead in case things have gone to shit.
does.
He's prepared.
It's an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the idea of seeing a giant pentagram made of railroad tracks is pretty fucking
Oh
cool.
my god.
It's,
Well, it wouldn't be railroad checks. It'd probably just be the.
it'd probably be
unicorn
something
hair.
else, yeah.
It'd probably
But it'd be
unicorn hair or something like that.
Oh, well, he couldn't get it before.
I mean, I have a theory as to what might have happened, but I'll leave that to discuss later. I think I might understand what went on.
All right then. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. I'll give it a 10. 10 out of 10.
Oh
No, no,
my,
no.
10 out of
10.
10. Oh my.
We really need to review the other Gravity Falls episodes to break
Well,
this up.
we're gonna have plenty of time after this.
Yee.
Yep. Alright, I guess that just leaves me now again.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I really like this episode, like everyone else has. Yeah, like all the imagery was really good. The fucking the fucking horror shit when Dipper starts questioning things is fantastic. Then there's the whole trial is great and Dippy Fresh. I really like Bill's comment about how it would take like nerves of steel to resist the world he created.
And of
And,
course, Dipper's the only one who can.
Yeah, and he almost gives in. Yeah, like just showing that Dipper is not perfect either, because of course he's not. He's 12.
He's not perfect, he's 12.
I'm not a chicken, you're a turkey.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's such a non sequitur.
Yeah, but it was all really great. I really like this episode. I like the other that it's not perfect, but it's pretty fucking good.
Yee.
And yeah, I'd give it like I think I'm also gonna say 9 out of 10.
Alright, well that comes to a 9 out of 10 average,
Well-
so pretty damn good. That's
Yee.
pretty good. But yeah, now that we've given our thoughts on the episode, we can now give some more thoughts about what might lie ahead in the final part of Gravity Falls and Weirdmageddon, which will be coming sometime in 2016, because yay, even more hiatuses. My favorite.
Yeah, I
It
love
gives us time to
God,
talk about
we're not going to have.
others.
We're not going to have any content, more or less, because everything
Yeah,
we talk about is on hiatus.
On hiatus or ending.
Yeah,
We can talk about Star Wars.
We do
and
have
can
Star
start
Wars.
We can also start reviewing the other Gravity Falls episodes, like I
Yeah.
said. So we can break up this perfect track record. God damn! But in the meantime,
In
we
the
have
meantime.
Gravity Falls to talk about.
We do.
So, well, before we do, TG, how about that cryptogram of the day?
Oh yes, Cryptogram
I
Corner.
actually, because I'm not with my main computer, I don't have my notes on what the cryptogram
You
was.
motherfucker.
Yeah, so someone should very slyly pull up the wiki and look at what it is.
The first cryptogram says Kraz and Zyler went on to run the legal department at a major children's television network.
And that's obviously a joke at Disney's expense.
And the last one says, when one gets trapped inside the past, dreams can turn to nightmares fast, which is a little disappointing because it just describes the plot of the episode.
Yeah, I guess I just didn't want to give us anything for a finale, so that's...
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's better than, what was it? Waddles, Thomas, Waffles, Laser Tag.
I mean, that ended up being a code, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still, like, a terrible fucking,
If you don't know what we're talking about, the Gravity Falls channel, it was Disney XD who posted them originally on YouTube.
Yeah.
They had these little Mystery Shack videos where Grunkle Stan tried to sell you shit from his shack, and it was obviously just intended as a joke, but if you bothered to watch them all, you could find a cryptogram. And then putting this cryptogram essentially gave you an outtakes video.
Yeah.
And that's been going on for the past week or so it's over now, but they're definitely worth a watch if you're a big fan of Gravity Falls. Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Too bad the cryptograms don't amount to much.
No, they don't. We thought this might be a big finale reveal, but no. Sadly not. But more talk about the episode.
So there's a few things we can talk about with this episode. It sounds like you guys have something to talk about with predictions, so why don't you do that first while I get some more cereal?
All right.
Late night cereal break.
Yes.
Cereal!
Don't become a cereal eater.
Eel.
Okay. So we saw in this episode that essentially Bill and his buddies are all trapped inside a big bubble that surrounds the entirety of Gravity Falls.
Yep.
And when we see the Mystery Shack at the end, we actually see that Celesta Bellabelle is inside the shack, along with a bunch of other survivors like the Multi-Bear and the Manticore. Or, I'm sorry, the Manator? Yeah.
Manatar,
the gnomes.
But that's not important. What's important is Celesta Belle, because if you remember correctly, her hair is the ingredient needed to making a giant bubble. To keep something inside a bubble, essentially, or on the outside. But in this case, it's the inside. And you could presume that Grunkle Stan did know how to perform this ritual, because I think he was there when they originally performed it.
Yeah.
So it is entirely possible that the bubble now surrounding Gravity Falls was made by the Mystery Shack survivor crew. And that's how we're keeping Bill in.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable to assume.
I think it is pretty reasonable to assume indeed.
It is interesting because Stan hasn't really done any weird supernatural shit since
he was trying to open the portal. But I mean, he used to do some of it. He's obviously read through the journals at some point. So yeah.
So he knows what's up pretty much.
And he would also have the photocopies of the journals too.
He would.
So even if he wasn't present at the ritual, which I'm not sure if he was or was not, I'll have to go back.
Oh, since he has the photocopies of the journal, that means Bill is still screwed because the journals still exist even though he burned them.
Well, I mean, I think if I remember correctly, all the journals said to defeat him was, "You have no fucking chance."
Yeah, pretty much.
It was something to that degree. But yeah, I mean, I think the journals will come into play. Possibly, that would not be surprising. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, is there any other thoughts that anyone might have?
I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot we can predict at this point, but what we can predict is that shit's getting pretty real.
Oh yeah. I am kind of surprised the wheel is probably not going to come into play that has all the insignia.
Yeah.
And that's always, if you follow the show, you remember that Bill always refers to people by their sign. Dipper is Pine Tree, Mabel Shooting Star, Ford is Sixer. Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that's likely not going to come into play, since we know that Robbie is a part of the Chair of Human Agony. And yeah, I don't know what happened to
On
Blendon.
the wheel? I don't remember.
Grobby's heart
No,
is
he
on the
was.
wheel. Yes.
What was he on the wheel?
He's his heart on his
The heart with the
sweatshirt.
stitches.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot that was on the wheel.
And I believe Ford is also... So yeah, Ford, Dipper, Mabel, Stan. There's a pair of glasses which nobody was ever able to figure out. And then, there's the ice bag, which I think people assumed was either Wendy or
Yeah, I
Blendon.
think Wendy was the pretty safe assumption for it. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't 100%, but it was... I mean, the other options for the ice bag were...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was discovered that Pacifica was the llama because she had that weird llama painting inside her house that was really well hidden.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it's... From the most part, I think that's what's on the wheel, unless I'm forgetting something. But, wait a minute. No, I'm wearing a wheel shirt right now under my sweatshirt. I completely forgot.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
So, looking at my shirt...
Looking at my shirt, I see everything.
Zeus is on the wheel.
Oh, yes, he's on.
Of course he's on the wheel. And yeah, that's pretty much everyone. Oh, and Gideon. Yeah, Gideon's also on the wheel. And we're not sure of the fate of Gideon. But
Yeah,
we
we
presume he
know-
got his ass kicked.
Yeah, we know he turned good, which is cool. But after that, we don't know. We know Bill called for his blood pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, he did betray him. And he wasn't actually that angry about it, surprisingly enough. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Fucking fickle
Yeah, it
humans.
seemed like he kind of expected it.
Yeah.
Well, plus, Gideon leading them to the bubble meant that they would likely get trapped in it.
Right. So it did kind of give him what he wanted in the end. He
Yeah.
almost saw it coming. Like, Bill's usually ahead of the game on these things.
Yep.
Except in the railroad train of demon trapping, or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, that he didn't see coming, surprisingly enough. But he
With
seems...
infinite power.
He seems to, I don't know, he seems to be pretty confident that Ford will be willing to help him, though. Most likely because he could torture the shit out of him if he doesn't. That's a
Yeah.
pleasant thought.
Well, see, I actually almost think that the fact that they broke out of the bubble means that Bill kind of lost his bargaining chip with Ford,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like
He could have
Ford doesn't-
said he was going to harm them and then try to get the solution out of Ford.
Yeah, but I feel like Bill's big bargaining chip was going to be, hey, I have your whole family trapped in this bubble now. If you don't want anything to happen to them, you should tell me how to get out of this bubble.
I mean, granted, it's Bill. He could still totally just figure out where
Oh,
the
yeah,
fuck
no,
they
he
are and
totally
totally fuck
will.
them up. Yeah. But it's not as easy as it was. Alright, so here, since this has obviously been a question that's been floating around the fandom, who gonna die? Who gonna
Who gonna
die?
I still say Stan.
You think Grunkle Stan's gonna die?
Yeah, I've kind of thought that for a bit.
I think Grunkle Ford's gonna die.
Ford is also a good option.
I feel Ford's the safe
I-
bet, and that's what I expect.
I'd have to think about it in terms of which one would be more expendable and which one would be the most shocking. So, I feel like the one that Hirsch and the writing staff would be most comfortable killing would be Ford, because he's been around the shortest.
I think there's no
Yeah.
chance that Dipper and Mabel die. I
Yeah,
think that's completely off the table.
I would
Although
say
you
that either of them dying would be the most shocking one.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
feel like
it
that
would be fucking
crush
heartbreaking.
everyone.
I would fucking cry.
It would be amazing. Like, that would be great writing. to just completely-
Depends. I don't know.
What about Zeus?
No, what do you mean
Zeus
it
is almost
depends?
too innocent to die.
It would be, it depends, because, I mean, obviously,
If
it depends on if they write it well, but this
Yeah.
is the Gravity Falls writers. Of course they're gonna write it well.
That's what everyone thought about Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3 was supposed to be great.
Yeah, but
Then the red, blue, and green
happened.
happened.
Either, so that's not.
No, I know. I do trust the Gravity Falls writing staff to write a proper ending, and I do think we will get a fantastic ending.
Yeah, so...
If the reasoning was good enough, sure. I just don't think it'll happen.
If Zeus were to die, he'd just come back in 3 days.
Oh my god. Hey, Zeus.
Jesus.
God damn it.
That's a thing that just got said.
That's great.
But yeah, honestly, I feel like the one that's most likely to die would be Ford.
Yeah. Well, it definitely feels like Ford doesn't really serve a purpose after Bill is defeated. Like, sure, he's a mystery solver, but Hirsch has even said that Ford's life work would be complete with defeating Bill. Like, that would be his #1 accomplishment. So, if Bill's defeated, then, yeah.
Not much else for him to go.
Ford gets let go, yeah. Which would still be sad, because I really do like Ford, but I do think he is the one they will likely end up killing off, if anybody.
Yeah.
I need pictures of Bill Cipher.
I need photos of that triangular menace.
They could really fuck with Dipper if they killed Wendy off.
Cypher. Photos of Cypher,
But-
man.
I don't feel like they'd kill off Wendy.
Because it's kind of a stretch to call her one of the Pines family.
Right. But they could kill off people other than the Pines family, but... Yeah.
Well, no,
They
dude,
could.
They have directly
the
referred at this
cryptogram
point
does
to
specifically
Pines, yeah.
Yeah. And didn't Hirsch also say it'll be one of the Pines in his, like, big cryptic thing?
Yeah, but
I did not.
I don't know. I think, like... Has Hirsch ever said directly? I think he has, that he was likely to kill off one of the Pines family. I believe you're correct.
I thought the cryptogram said that one of the Pines was going to die.
Yeah,
Both have.
the cryptograms definitely didn't say
Yeah, but
it.
Well, it said
Yeah.
you'll see which of them survives.
Yeah, so that implies...
The implication that one of them going down.
What if both
You
of the
rat!
Grunkles die? What both
Yeah,
Grunkles
it
stand
could be both Grunkles.
It's actually
Stan.
the Grunkle's dad. Phil
What?
Brick.
Grunkle's dad.
Philbrick? Yeah, no, it'll
Philbrick.
totally be Philbrick. Yeah,
That's the twist.
that makes sense. That's the most important character to the show that they're going to kill off because
Yeah, no. See, guys, it won't be Phil Brick. It's going to be John Cena. R.I.P.
Man,
champ.
somebody's sick of that meme by now.
Yeah, but it ain't as bad as Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
It was a good meme. Best meme 2015. John Cena.
best meme. Yeah,
Top cap.
that should be the new award at like the Oscars. Just
Best meme.
Oh, God.
The cringe. My God. But yeah, I guess we've given our death predictions. We'll see how those play out. Alright, and I guess just... I don't know.
Well, I did have something else in mind.
Alright, sure.
How would you handle the fantasy versus reality debate?
In terms of proving it in the in this episode, or
Yeah.
just in a general debate?
In general terms, or in specific context of the episode, whichever you feel is more appropriate.
Alright, well, this is definitely a deep question.
Yeah,
I like it. I feel... you got something, TG?
well, just the thing is, the argument in this episode is determining which is better, fantasy or reality. And that's a ridiculous argument, because of course
Fantasy
fantasy will always win.
Yeah.
It's always going to be better. Now, well, the argument, the good proof to, or the good answer to the argument really is what Dipper gives, that even though, yeah, fantasy is better than reality,
That's not what life is about.
yeah, life is about reality.
Life is about the good times and the bad times and making it through with the people you care about.
Yeah.
It was a really strange debate. is it? I don't know. I wasn't really sure how to feel about that because, like TG said, if it's a contest of which is better, it's no contest, and the question is, for lack of a better way to describe it, largely academic, in the sense that it's useless. But yeah, how I would address it, I just say that, I'm trying to think of things, but I'm honestly more prepared to talk about Pony than I am about Gravity Falls.
Nice.
Yeah, it really does boil down to the way the question is phrased. There's only one reasonable answer, but like they show, it's not about that question. That question is silly. Of course, that's the answer.
It's also worth noting that this reality this perfection comes with a price tag, and more than just the one of, seeing the bugs behind the curtain. There's also the fact that in doing this and in hiding away from what's going on, Mabel is also shirking off responsibility for what happened.
Well, responsibility and adulthood, in a sense.
And the two can be largely synonymous with each other.
But I think adulthood is especially important to use because that's kind of been the whole theme of the series, practically, them maturing throughout the summer and reaching this point where, their childhood has been great, but you gotta move on with life. You have to mature, and it's just part of growing up.
Yeah.
You can't continue to live just in this fantasy la-la world where everything's perfect.
Because it's not perfect, for one.
Not. No.
And for another, living in this fantasy la-la world comes with consequences. Like everyone you know and love dying and suffering horribly.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was a little bit shocked that wasn't brought up. I guess it's because Dipper was trying to be nice to his sister, which, honestly, it's something... I'm not even going to elaborate on that anyway.
Well...
Cheever, you have something you want to say?
Not really, no!
No? Oh my.
But anyway, it is worth bringing up that in doing this, Mabel is dooming her loved ones to suffer horribly. And that it's not much of a stretch to say that what happened in Weirdmageddon is largely due to her actions and her wanting to retreat to the fantasy.
Yeah, essentially it's about her selfishness, in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really about, it all boils down to both of their selfishness, Dipper and
right.
Because Dipper was being selfish, just thinking
of accepting the internship and
leaving
Mabel
like,
behind
I don't
without thinking of a sister.
I don't want to go back to, where are they from?
That's true.
They're from, some shithole in California or something.
It's California?
Yeah.
California!
Dipper's just I don't want to go back to there. I want to get this internship.
I want to become the mystery man.
Yeah. And so... He was selfish, which caused Mabel to freak out and also be selfish, and that caused everything. And they both had to come to terms with, we were being selfish. We can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And eventually, Mabel did make the right choice, which, this is good.
Be careful of how much you're banging on a controller, by the way. It's just something I'm noticing. Carry on.
I think that was tribute to Edeling.
That's about it. A lot of it is about responsibility and about, to an extent, growing up. And, as much as I hate being told just to move on, that's a part of it. But that's a topic for another day. So, I guess about wraps it up, unless we got any other topics.
trying to think. There's not really too much else other than...
God, we were way more ready for Pony than this.
I mean, it's just more fresh on our mind. It came out today as opposed to a week ago. So, yeah, we'll talk about that another time. We'll talk Pony soon. Yeah, no, I think that's good for an hour. Just really excited to see how this all ends. We feel Hirsch has done a great job with this series, and yeah, even though it's the end, and that's definitely a sad thing, we're also happy to see that he got to end the show on his own terms.
Yep,
And
I'm very happy about it ending.
Yeah, and so
reason.
yeah, so again, it's nice to see a show that's definitely not going to overstay its welcome. Some might say it understated its welcome, but again, if Hirsch believes it should be over, then it should be over. That's the end of a discussion.
Totes.
But yeah, we're really excited to see how it ends, and we'll definitely be back to do a podcast of that when the time comes. And other than that, we just have some plugs and pimps to take care of. Does anyone have anything to shout out first?
Quick shout out for Pie Guy Rules. If you haven't watched his videos, I checked them out. He's one of the more level-headed and, shall I say, a bit more merciful YouTubers that talked about animation, so you want to check something like that out, go ahead. He's very thorough and very rational, so give him a watch.
Alright. TG, Scott, Pimpage.
I guess our special playthrough we're going to do, TG?
Oh god, your Fallout playthrough, yes.
Yes.
Please detail this.
Okay. Well, you know, let's see. There's this Pip-Boy app.
So, for those of you who are unaware, somehow, Fallout 4 just came out, and along with it came the Pip-Boy app, which is a mobile app that lets you manage your inventory, swap
do all
out
the Pip-Boy
gear.
things, all your
just
own.
do everything that the Pip-Boy does in game, and so we thought, you know, what if we took Fallout 4 and one person plays the game and another person manages the Pip-Boy? So we're gonna do that. We're gonna co-op Fallout 4.
This is gonna be the most awful.
Chaos.
This is gonna be the most awful thing we ever do.
You know what's awful? This ant inside my beer bottle.
Oh, that's
yeah,
bad.
that's pretty awful.
You motherfucker. Continue on.
Wow.
No, I don't want that. I don't want ant beer.
Also, we will maybe continue the Cave Story Let's Play race. Not really. Maybe not. We don't know.
Definitely continuing it. I just need to get along with it. Yeah. Fucking watch for that.
Alright. But yes, if you live on the western coast of the United States and would like to finally meet us motherfuckers in person, we will be at BabsCon in San Francisco between April 22nd to April 24th at the Hyatt Regency San Francisco in Burlingame, California. This is a really good My Little Pony convention, and yes, we understand My Little Pony isn't your thing for a lot of you, but if you just want to come and hang out and chat with us, that's totally cool too. You can totally not go to the rest of the convention. We're that rad. You should just come for us.
Or the other option is you can tell us where the Gravity Falls meetups are, because we can actually show.
Oh god!
No, in the Los Angeles area.
You can also run into us there, but I'll give me 1 sec on this. Give me 1 sec. And yeah, if you come to BoobsCon in San Francisco, we will have a panel there. Which TG would you like to describe a panel you were doing with Dooster?
Oh, yeah. So, me and Duster do this panel every year. It's mainly her thing, but I assist because it's a thing I'm good at. We take a horrible piece of fan fiction, and we get all of you lovely audience members to read it. And, you know, we've read various awful things in our past years of doing this. But this year we're doing something special. It's there's an actual published book
called
the Brony Handbook, and
It's as bad as you think.
Yeah, it's real bad.
It's the ultimate in cringe.
Yeah, it's super bad, and that's what we're gonna bring, and it's gonna be lovely. So, if you do go to the convention, be sure to check that out.
Yes, if you come for us, because
Come.
we're so important. If you can't tell by this massive amount of sarcasm dripping out of my mouth.
You really should get a napkin for that.
Yeah, kind of gross, I know. But yes, you can join us there, and we'll also probably be at Anime Expo next year, but that's like 9 months away, so yeah. Deal with that when that comes by. And yes, as Scott also mentioned, I know there's a Gravity Falls fan group that meets in Los Angeles. We went to their last meetup, but I'm not exactly sure when the next one is. We might go again.
Do they have a meetup page or what?
It was just an event
Just
page.
a random Facebook page.
So we could dig and see when the next one is. I would hope we're going to meet up again, because it was actually a pretty enjoyable experience. But, yeah, if we go, we could possibly end up there, and, yeah, if something's going on, we'll tell you during the next and last Mystery Cast, if you just want to hang out and meet up with us there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess, just as a random thing, since if you're listening to the Mystery Cast, you're almost certainly watching us for our Gravity Falls content. And with the show ending, there's not going to be a lot of that left. So, but you should really check out our other stuff. I have a plan to revive an old thing that we used to do, but actually revive it in the way I originally intended it to exist. And that's the water cooler.
Oh,
Just a weekly Shoot the Shit podcast.
Yeah, just a weekly us get on a Skype call, hit record, and then just talk about shit.
And if you watch for Rooster Teeth podcast or some other kind of gaming podcast where they usually just talk about random life stuff, it's kind of going to be like that. Where we'll have gaming topics and cartoon topics and stuff like that, but we'll also just talk about random awesome shit.
A chunk of our time anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I look forward to that, since we have December of, like, nothing happening, and then Gravity Falls ending, other stuff going to be on hiatus for a while, too.
Other things have been on hiatus for a while.
Yeah, other things
thanks, Steven Universe.
Stupid!
But yes, we'll be covering Stupid Noodleverse.
Yeah, so
once it comes back.
Once it comes back.
Yeah, so while everything is not happening, I plan to bring that around, and so we'll probably talk about Gravity Falls stuff in there too, along with all the other stuff, and just our random conversation pieces. So.
Also, give us Western cartoons to watch, so we can talk about it. Maybe, I don't know.
Just a heads up, we won't watch Teen Titans Go. You can go fuck yourself if you recommend that.
I mean, I'm watching it to torture myself.
Yeah, we ain't doing that.
Yeah, I'm not dragging them in with me. That hole is mine to crawl into. Speaking of which, I'm actually thinking about doing some reviews of other Western cartoons.
Oh, you're bringing back the Treebeard logs or reviews?
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that, and a few things that I want to tackle is, obviously I need, because I really need to, I'm going to talk about Attack on Titan. But thankfully it's less relevant, so it's a bit less urgent, but I still need to address it because I talk shit on it a lot, and I need to itemize why. But yeah, I need to talk about Attack on Titan, and I'm almost done with the first story arc of Sword Art Online, so I'll just talk about that as a whole, because I hate myself.
Oh, yeah.
And other things that I'm aiming to talk about, because I finished watching them in no particular order, Ruby Gloom, which is a really strange and obscure little show that got a surprisingly long run despite... Well, you'll see what I mean when I talk about it. And I'll also talk about My Life as a Teenage Robot, and I'll talk a little bit about Danny Phantom, because That I got finished watching a little bit ago.
Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, yeah. I haven't actually watched much of Fairly Odd Parents yet, but I'll get to that if need be.
You get to watch all 15 seasons or whatever the fuck it is now. Woo.
I'll probably talk a little bit about Phineas and Ferb. Because I do feel like I need to address Phineas and Ferb. South Park, I feel like enough people are talking about that.
Yeah.
And one other thing...
Sorry, go ahead.
One more little project that I want to do is do a video that's I do want to talk about Teen Titans Go, but I'm going to do it in a way that's a little different, because I'm going to actually compare it to another show that it often gets measured up against. No, not Teen Titans, Young Justice. Just a little bit of a spoiler alert. I didn't think Young Justice was very good either. So, yeah, that's the stuff I plan on, that I'll probably do in the future. I'm going to draw a few graphics to kind of do I'm borrowing from Pie Guy Rules a little bit to avoid the whole copyright flag thing.
And we all know YouTube's full of shit when it comes to copyright.
That's been getting really annoying, so I'm going to be, drawing my own visuals to do this sort of thing, so it'll take a little bit, but I'll get to them. But, yeah. I'm gonna be doing that stuff, and maybe later on down the line, I had this idea for something that I want to do, but each of the episodes for this will take a lot of research. I'm gonna call it Legends in Animation, Modern Legends in Animation, where I talk about individual contributors to the animation genre, like Gendy Tartovsky, Greg McCracken, maybe even Lauren Faust somewhere down the road, and a lot of the other modern creators, after I do a lot of research on them and report on how they contributed to the animation genre. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
And
I'll research it and probably won't offend anybody.
And with the election season coming up, stay tuned for our political podcast, Stump the Trump. That's not actually what we're doing.
No,
we're not doing this. We don't want you to hate us.
We're not touching.
And we'll hate each other. So
Yeah, we
really
we could talk politics on the...
I mean, we can all agree that Donald Trump is an idiot for an hour, but it would just be an echo chamber.
Yeah, that's probably why we wouldn't do it.
I think we're getting silly to the point we should.
We are getting silly. All right. So yes, finally. Wait, hold on. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Tumblr at Hoof Hearted YT. Yes, it is all the same for all those different websites, so it's pretty easy to find us. So don't fuck up. Yeah.
Oh, one very...
Why'd you tell them how they really feel?
one very last thing before we wrap up. If you are not aware, because you don't follow us on Twitter, we very recently, like in the last week, hit 1,500 subscribers.
Woo.
So I assume that if you're watching this, you're one of them. So I just want to say we really appreciate you guys.
We do like you. As much as we joke, we do like you.
We are appreciative and baffled by you.
So Greg, where's that sub-special going?
Yeah. But when we started this channel in, what was it, April? We expected, maybe a couple hundred. Seeing that number in 4 digits is absolutely insane. We did not
even got past 1,000 is so baffling to us.
Yeah, so
we're happy. We're very happy.
We really appreciate it.
Happy
It's super awesome. So, yeah, thanks for subscribing and watching our stuff. We really love you guys. So yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been the Mystery Cast. I guess we'll see you for the next one in 2016 sometime.
Maybe 17.
Oh, no. Yeah, 2016.
So, stay mysterious, you guys.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.